I'm not happy about this. Game over, indeed. Let's get this over with. Yeah. Son of a bitch. We're dipping back into the well. What the fuck is happening? You can see what's happening. Oh, Christ on a bike. No one donated 2K. I, for some reason, decided to say, you can donate, you can get me to listen to Oasis, but it has to be a full album and one of the ones I haven't heard. Thinking that no one was going to be stupid enough to fucking do it. Yes, it's happening. Yeah. Here they come fucking flooding in. Jesus Christ. It's fucking biblical, mate. Exactly. You thought I said no Discord? I wanted to inform the Discord. That's why I said no one's put it in the Discord. Oh, classic yeah, this is one of my favorite shorts I've ever done. Oh, where the fuck's my camera? There it is. Why am I so off center? Whatever. Look at this shit. This was a this is a classic right here.
I made a big mistake.
Why am I talking so quietly?
Back, I released a video reacting to What's the Story Morning Glory by Oasis, and in that video, I didn't really like the album. This song is 7.5 minutes of why this album doesn't work. I am feeling a 3 out of 10 on this song. A lot of people in my comments were very, very upset about this.
Some great comments. Great comments.
And the Oasis fans seem to absolutely hate me for this.
I look a bit. Oh, I know.
I completely disagree with.
Look at me. This is the look of someone who is not mentally well.
And honestly, I feel like I was kind of too lenient when it came to my thoughts on the album. So I am happy to announce that I am finally changing my original score of a 3.4 out of 10 to a 2.2 out of 10. I made
classic. Absolute classic. One of my favorite shorts I've ever made. Straight up. I look like shit in it, but yeah. The haters can't call me greasy anymore. Exactly. I've become well kept, ladies and gentlemen. Get listening. I'm trying to fucking prolong this as long as possible. I can't lie. Oh. Can we listen at 2 times speed? Alright. Here we go. Let me get this fucking intro out of the way. Hello everyone, welcome to the Human Reviews channel, and today I'm actually listening to Standing on the Shoulders of Giants. Look, we had the April Fool's vid. Now I'm actually fuck's sake, man. I made the mistake of saying on my music submission stream, which you should join, by the way, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, 3 p.m. UK time. You can pay me money to listen to music. I made the mistake of saying, normally Oasis is blacklisted in my streams. I've made it so that people can't send in Oasis music. But I said, you know what? You can get me to listen to Oasis, but you have to pay for a full album reaction, and it has to be one of the albums I haven't heard. And someone did it. Someone fucking did it. I was sat there thinking no one's going to pay for me to listen to this because they know what the outcome is going to be. And, yeah. Yeah, we were also listening. Yeah, this song being at the bottom of the video. Yeah, I had. Yeah, don't mind this. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. This album came out in 2000. It's 10 tracks, 48 minutes. It's got a 63 user score, 64 user score on Album of the Year. I still think that Be Here Now is an okay project. I sometimes do return to the songs that I liked off of that album, and I still think they're okay, to be honest. I still enjoy the best songs off of those albums. Oh, sorry, off of that album. The other 3 albums that I've listened to, utter dog shit. What was the name of the first one? Definitely Maybe. Definitely Maybe. Shrunk on me a ton. I originally gave it a 5 out of 10. Bump that shit down to a 3. Atrocious. What's the Story, Morning Glory? Bloated, overrated dog shit. And then there's also, what, is it the Master Plan? Yeah, the Master Plan. Easily the weakest Oasis project. Fucking awful combination of songs. That I Am the Walrus cover is unforgivable. Actual unforgivable trash. Be Here Now is okay. I think that Be Here Now has some great songs on it, to be honest. Be Here Now has some absolute fucking slappers on it. What were the good songs on Be Here Now again? Do you know what I mean? Great opener. I Hope I Think I Know. Easily the best Oasis song. The Girl in Dirty Shirt slapped. And I also really liked Fading Out. That is 4 great songs right there. And I even thought that the All Around the World reprise at the end as well was good. I gave that a 7. So, I'm going into this with some slightly higher expectations. I'm going into this thinking, you know what? Maybe I'll think this album is okay too. It's only 47 minutes. That's not that long. That's not that long of an album. I've heard Fucking in the Bushes. I don't remember it, but I remember hating it. So, you know, I'm already going into this thing with a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. But remember, open-minded. I want to like this. I want to get the best experience out of this possible. But listen to me. These reviews are not meant to give objective criticism. I'm sharing my opinions, and I'm wanting to get yours in return. Do not act like a pissy bitch in the comments if I don't like this. Please. Track 1, Fucking in the Bushes. Okay, pretty interesting start. This production fucking sucks, but, you know. Chivo. You literally said, and here he is. Nah, I'm not gonna make Statius edit this. If you want to edit this, you can, but nah, I'll probably edit this. You can't? Nah, trust me, I'm not gonna force you to edit it. If you want to, you can. Are we just gonna get this same riff the entire fucking song? Samples are from the Isle of Wight festival in 1969 when people broke in and didn't pay, huh? Might have to get a Ford F-150 by the end of this song. Yeah, this isn't as bad as I remember. This actually is okay. Samples Jimi Hendrix and also these 3 bits of the Isle of Wight movie festival movie, sorry. Hey. Yes, this is for a video. Hey, if you're down to edit it, sure, I'll send you it over on Google Docs later. That's not as bad as I remember it being. You know what? That song's actually okay. Could have been a bit shorter. Yeah. Pacing wise, it's not the strongest. It's like a solid 6. Like a 6.4, 6.5. It's nice to see Oasis doing something actually different. Doing something a little more experimental. Having the song be entirely based around samples. That's pretty cool. I think that the riff that is going throughout this song sounds pretty great as well. Kids are doing what? Exactly, exactly. You know what? I'll take what I can get. That is an okay opener right there. Actually feels like a definitive way to open an album as well. Lots of Oasis openers have kind of just felt like being plopped into the middle of an album because their track placements are dog shit. But that actually feels like a pretty strong tone setter, surprisingly. It's not that bad. Go Let It Out. Oh my god, that production. Wow.
Ain't no illusion. Try to click with what you got. Taste every potion. Cause if you like yourself a lot, go let it out. Go let it in. And go let it out.
Was this recorded in a fucking tunnel? You know, I really liked the sound of Be Here Now because it felt like the band actually found out how to incorporate dynamics. Why are we in a tunnel?
Life is precocious in the most peculiar way. Sister psychosis don't got a lot to say. She gon' let it out. She gon' let it in. She gon' let it out. She gon' let it out. She gon' let it in. She gon' let it out.
It's trip hop. It does seem to have some trip hoppy elements, yeah.
Is it any wonder why princes and kings are clowns and paper in their sawdust rings? Ordinary people that are like you.
Is that a fucking Beatles sample?
We're the kings
That's a Beatles sample there, isn't it?
of their destiny. We're the keepers
That little synth thing, that's Beatles. Yeah, Strawberry Fields.
I'm going leaving the city. I'm going driving out of town. And you're coming with me. The right time is always now. So don't let it.
I don't hate Liam Gallagher's vocals. I just clocked. I'm not, like, disgusted by the vocal performance like I normally am. I think that the singing here is actually kind of solid. He isn't doing his typical, like, squeezing and tensing his whole body inflection. It feels like he's actually just letting loose and providing a decent, pretty fluid vocal performance here that isn't, you know, trying his hardest to be as annoying as possible. This is when his vocals get raspy. I like the rasp here. I think that the rasp adds like a nice bit of texture to his voice that wasn't really present before. Get past the production and this song's not actually that bad. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a Strawberry Fields sample. Same synth sound. Yeah, but it's also like what's actually being played sounds the exact same. Yeah. Okay. Okay, the back half of this song is really picking up the pace. Fade out fucking sucks. That song got off to like the rockiest start possible, but then it picked up the pace as it went along. I feel like that song got gradually better and better. Yeah, I really did not like how just echoey the production was at the beginning there. It really felt like there was way too much empty space in the mix, and it felt like just like listening to a live performance in a fucking tunnel. But as the song progressed, it kind of started to pick up the pace. The layering sort of started to fill out the sound a lot more. And also, Liam Gallagher provides a surprisingly strong vocal performance. I know the 2000s is when people, even Oasis fans, start not liking his vocals, but surprisingly, I think they're very, very solid here. Very Strawberry Fields sound there too. I'm almost certain that that is a Strawberry Fields sample. It might just be the same synth sound, but like the actual part that it's playing sounds the exact same. I'm feeling like a flat 7 on that. Well, a flat 7 to like a low 7, like in the 7 to like 7.2 out of 10 range. Hey. Good Oasis songs exist outside of just Be Here Now. That was not bad in the slightest. Dog shit opened to the song, and the fade out sounded like complete ass, but everything else was actually pretty good. Mellotron. Yes, I am familiar with a Mellotron. Up next we have Who Feels Love. Fucking in the Bush has got a 6. St. Angus snare. There's the annoying inflection. There's the Liam Gallagher that I know.
There's a million years between my fantasies and fears. I feel love.
The fuck is this?
I'm leaving all that I see. Now all my emotions fill the air I breathe.
Is the song being played backwards because it sounds like it?
Now you understand that this is not the promised land they spoke of. There's nothing more to be if you can be the remedy.
Sound inspired Radiohead to making rainbows? Yeah, something like that. These psychedelic sounds don't mesh here. Feels like a nod slash rip off of when Oasis went indie. Oh, when the Beatles went indie video sound using guitar, yeah. Why am I enjoying this? I'm not. Oh, why am I doing this? Money. Not India, yeah, went to India. I can't fucking read. What the fuck is even happening? The song feels like it's gone nowhere, but is also moving way too fast at the same time. I made the stupid choice of saying the only way you can get me to listen to Oasis is if you do a full paid album request and it has to be one of the albums I haven't heard. And someone actually fucking did it. Fucking hell.
Now there's a million years between my fantasies and fears. I feel love.
What happened? What the fuck happened to the nice, open, natural vocals on the previous song? What happened? Now it feels like he's tensing his whole fucking body again, like he does on the old Oasis albums. The harmonies are good, but they're both... No, the layering's fucking awful on the vocals, dude. Who was the requester? I think it was Dorman Assassin, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they got a Saint Anger snare. Okay, sweet enough outro. I don't mind this outro. The fade out actually feels, you know, kind of appropriate for this song. Alright, Statius. Thank you for being here. Didn't hate the outro. Wow. There's the Oasis that I have come to know. There is the dog shit that I was worried about with this album. Yeah, that was not it. That was a pretty aggravating attempt at working in some 60s psych. That song annoyed me, which is what I'm used to feeling with this band. I've come to expect that at this point. Yeah, Liam Gallagher feels like he's back on his original bullshit where he would have to tense all of the muscles in his body and squeeze out the sounds to be able to sing. He's doing that again. The mix here is fucking atrocious. Oh my god. What a cluttered mess in terms of sound, dude. It feels like walking into a room when an actual bomb has hit it, you know? You know the saying, it looks like a bomb's hit the place when your house is a mess? It feels like an actual bomb has hit this fucking song. I'm feeling a solid 3 on this. Like a 3.5, 3.6. It's nice to be back in the trenches. It sounds kind of similar, but it doesn't. It's not like the exact same. I wouldn't say it's like full-on plagiarism of Dear Prudence. Up next, we have Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is. Incomplete song filler. Okay. Songs aren't good, but they're not that bad. Unfinished indeed. What the fuck? Get him a better mic, yeah. What is this? TNT by AC/DC? It does sound similar in terms of the melody, yeah. know what sucks is that there's actually a good song underneath this. You know, if they actually like mixed this song, I feel like this could actually sound good, but it's just so fucking fuzzy. There's no dynamics. It's just a fucking brick wall of noise, dude. They could have been a shoegaze band. Angelic choir vocals. Jesus Christ. Embarrassing for a major act like Oasis? Yeah. Oh my guys, it's the choir vocals from the end of Finally Peace by Swans. Ford F-150 strikes again, yeah. I want to get bullied again? Hey. Good transition. I'll give it that. That was fucking terrible. Wow. I think the most offensive thing about that song is that there is a good song underneath this. I feel like had they actually mixed the song, given it a bit of dynamic range, fixed up Liam's vocals a bit, let him do more than one take. I don't know if he only did one take, by the way, I'm guessing that. I feel like there's actually a pretty good song underneath that. There's some interesting ideas throughout that. I think there's some interesting riffs. The way that the keys are used throughout that song is actually pretty cool. But they didn't mix the song. Were they under like a tight schedule or something? Did they have like a deadline they needed to meet? I don't think I gave this song a score of 100 out of 100. In fact, I gave this song roughly a 23 out of 100. It's a 2.3. Crying fucking shame. This actually could have been a good song, but they just didn't do any fucking mixing. Oh my god, that was some actual ass right there. Listen to the demo. Hold on a sec. Sounds better than the actual song, and I'm not just saying that to make a dumb joke. That genuinely does sound better than the actual song. Up next we have Little James. Apparently this is like the worst Oasis song ever, so we'll see. Bonehead and Giggsy left mid-recording. Huh? Who? Noel had a no drugs and alcohol rule. Bone poured wine on Liam while he was in bed, so there was a lot of problems with the making of this. I see.
We're all the same. Always seem to look to us. We were meant to be grown-ups. Thank you for your smile. You make it all worthwhile.
This one's written by Liam. The reason it sounds so bad is because they hated making it. No. Radiohead hated making OK Computer. That album sounds perfect. Hating the process of creating something doesn't always equal a bad result in terms of like the sound. Foo Fighters hated creating what's the album called? The album with All My Life on it. And I think that the production on that album's really strong. I don't think it's that's a circumstance that really affects like the production quality.
I'm singing this song for you and your mom, and that's all.
It can and it did.
It won't be long before everyone is gone.
Really? Jesus Christ.
Sailed out to sea.
Damn.
Your mom, you and me. You swam the oceans like a child. Life around us was so wild. Thank you for your smile. You make it all worthwhile to us.
The drums don't sound great.
This song for you and your mom.
I don't hate this.
It won't be long.
It's just a little uninteresting.
Before everyone is gone.
I don't get how people can say this is like the worst Oasis song. This is like it's just kind of bland. Fucking clapping, really? Piano sound low key there. Oh my fucking god, we're doing this bullshit now. Yeah. That song started out mediocre, and then at the end, it just tanked. Wow, the ending of that song is fucking awful. Jesus Christ, everything just falls apart at the end there, dude. It's like the song wasn't, like, good to begin with, but it was at least listenable. Fucking hell, man. I think the worst part about this album is that there are good songs underneath these. I feel like there's actually some pretty creative ideas in the way that they're incorporating the electronics and the way they're using sampling. There's some creative ideas here, and I think that they paid off on the first two songs, to be honest. But then, man, everything has just been downhill from there. I'm feeling like a 4.3, 4.4 on that song. That was just rough. Up next we have Gas Panic. It's far from the worst Oasis song, by the way. That's worst Oasis song, not a chance in hell. Gas Panic, best song on the album. No, this is not better than Lemon Demon. This is actually worse than Lemon Demon right now. What's the worst? The I Am the Walrus cover from The Master Plan. Most underrated Oasis song? See, this is what I'm talking about when I say, like, the interesting ideas. I actually like the implementation of the electronics here. Some of these, like, whooshing sounds, this all sounds pretty metallic. It's adding a nice bit of texture that I feel like has been missing from a lot of earlier Oasis stuff. Requests are closed, I'm afraid. The mixing is the only issue I have with this. This mix is really, really weak. Everything just sounds so flaccid. There is no meat on the bone to this mix, dude. The song itself is actually really well constructed so far. Interesting structure. It's well written. The performances are pretty damn great so far, particularly Liam Gallagher providing an actually fairly strong vocal performance here. Yeah. Nice string arrangement. This was inspired by Noel giving up cocaine, huh? Live version Rockin' in Rio is excellent. St. Angus snare triggered. Don't expect the song to go anywhere. I kind of don't need it to. The song's done a good job at building up to this swell at the end here. I don't feel like it doesn't need a big switch up. It's fine staying as it is. Yeah, you can actually hear the bass. Yeah. The lyrics are a bit on the nose, but I don't know. It's actually doing a pretty good job at getting across a way more emotion than most Oasis songs do for me. So yeah, I do think that the writing here is actually fairly decent. that a fucking flute? There is a flute. Flute in an Oasis song is pretty crazy. It's a good description of the feeling of paranoia. Yeah. Yeah. Again, the lyrics are a little on the nose, but I don't mind them that much. Because it feels actually genuine, at least. Like, it doesn't feel manufactured in the same way that a lot of other Oasis songs can. The emotions feel actually tangible, and like they are actually being felt throughout the song as opposed to being forced into the song, if that makes sense. That is the best song on the album by quite a decent margin. I'm feeling like an 8.2-ish on that song. That was kind of everything that I wanted in terms of a step forward for Oasis. Its implementation of electronics are fantastic. It has this nice, like, mechanical whirring to it in the background all the way throughout it that gives it just such a rough metallic edge that actually fits the Oasis aesthetic really well, in my opinion. The writing, while on the nose, is pretty easy to connect with on an emotional level, and I feel like it isn't, like, it hasn't got its head up its ass. It doesn't feel like it's trying to force the emotions into the song. It feels like the emotions just come naturally, and it feels like Noel Gallagher and Liam Gallagher are both actually feeling it in real time, as opposed to trying to shove it into the song, if that makes sense. And on top of that, I think the pacing is fantastic. It's a 6-minute song. It goes by like that. Seriously. It's so well paced, especially considering it's an Oasis ballad. That shit flew by. That's legit everything that I needed from this album. I wish that the rest of the songs up to this point could have been that creative. Where did it all go wrong? Two songs sung by Noel. Hopefully they're not terrible.
You know that feeling you get.
What the fuck was that? Did you hear that?
You know that feeling you get.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Those are vocal effects.
Feel you're older than time. You ain't exactly sure.
Yeah, that's pretty... That auto-tune is not well hidden at all.
Do you keep the receipts?
Acoustic version of the song is better than the album.
And ain't it bittersweet? You were only just getting by.
Look, I obviously am not the type of person to be like, artists should never use auto-tune. I'm obviously not that type of person. But you have to do a good job at hiding it. Auto-tune is like VFX. Then it's not supposed to be noticeable. Why is that shit all out of order? Oh. Oh, it's sorted by user score. Yeah. Okay. Outside of the really obvious, like, auto-tune, I think that this song actually sounds pretty sweet. The mix feels very full. It feels like everything is brought up to an appropriate volume. There's a decent bit of dynamic range on this track as well. Like, it's basic, but it's sweet, you know? Title also summarizes Oasis well. Yeah, there you go. It also kind of drags. I disagree. I think the pacing of this song is actually pretty solid. Everything feels like it's got a pretty decent amount of motion to it. It moves between its different beats at a pretty decent rate. It doesn't feel like it's spoon-feeding you the information too fast. It's working for me. We got 3 more songs after this one. Pretty solid, but dragged for you as well. I don't think it dragged for me. I think the pacing was actually one of its stronger aspects, as well as being just an incredibly mixed song. That song actually had such a balanced and dynamic mix. Everything felt like it was given the right amount of space to breathe. Everything felt like it was actually, like, performed at an appropriate volume. A lot of the times it feels like even like the performances on some of the worst some of the worst mixed tracks, it feels like they aren't even playing dynamically, if that makes sense. Here it feels like it's actually being played dynamically as well. I don't know, man. Despite the fact that Noel Gallagher decided to use the most dogshit sounding auto-tune ever and didn't try and cover it up, I feel like that song was actually pretty solid. It was a good track. I'm feeling like a 7.4 on that one. Hear the acoustic version? I'll play a little bit of the acoustic version. Where did it all go wrong? Okay, hold on a sec. It's not on Spotify. Where did it all go wrong? Oasis acoustic. Oh, I've watched this. I've seen this before, apparently. We're not listening to a bonus track now. Yeah, look at that. He can actually sing. If only he'd do that on the studio version. Anyway, up next we have Sunday Morning Call.
Here's another Sunday morning call. Yeah.
Noel stars in this and loathes it, yeah. Is Noel Gallagher a better songwriter than Ringo? I want to see Noel Gallagher and Ringo Starr get in the ring. He considers Sunday Morning Call the worst Oasis song. He calls it dog shit. We'll see about that. Yeah, the backing choir sounds like fucking stock sound effects, dude. Why is the hi-hat panned all the way to the right? You like the goofy effects on this album? That's fair. I can see it. Yeah, we've gone past Little James. The biggest sin this song commits is just being a bit boring. I can't lie. It's not bad. Are there any bands out there who have expressed dislike for Oasis? I don't know. I feel like most people, like most bands just don't really care. George Harrison was kind of critical of them. George Harrison, W. Blur, Block Party, Radiohead, Screaming Trees, all stacked up. Look at that, all better bands. I've not heard too much Screaming Trees actually. Can't speak on Screaming Trees, but Blur, Block Party, and Radiohead, all better bands. User. I agree. Like a post-grunge song? Something by Creed or one of those bands? Why does Liam sing? I don't know, dude. I really do think that Noel Gallagher is just far more talented than Liam is. I prefer I prefer Noel Gallagher as a performer, as a singer, as a writer. I prefer him as an artist. And not only that, I just prefer him as a personality as well. Noel Gallagher's also a dickhead, but he's not as much of a dickhead as Liam Gallagher. Liam Gallagher seems like... He seems like a liability to the band, you know? Liam is more interesting, but Noel is super talented. I wouldn't even say Liam is interesting, he's just annoying. The biggest sin that song commits is just being boring. it's like, it's not bad. It's just kind of a snooze fest. The pacing is so off. It doesn't need to be 5 minutes. The production is fine, but it feels like it loses a lot of its charm going into the back half. The writing is pretty bland, and Noel Gallagher does provide a decent vocal performance, but it doesn't feel like he's really trying all that much. It feels like he's just kind of like it feels like he's half in this song. And the half that's in this song is pretty good, and the half that's out of the song I can just kind of take or leave. I'm feeling, yeah, like a low 5, like a 5.2 on that track. It's not bad, it's just kind of boring.
And finally, Oasis lead singer Liam Gallagher has been greatly criticised by one of his biggest heroes, former Beatle George Harrison. Oasis have always made it well known what massive Beatles fans they are, but as far as George is concerned, the band would be better off without their lead singer.
He's like a bit out of date, you know. I mean, he's a bit of a. It's just silly. It's silly. I feel a bit sorry for him really, because I think he's totally missed the bus, and I think it was proven when you see the band without him singing. You know, they're more in tune, and they can. You know, I mean, he's just excess.
Hey, George
baggage,
Harrison W.
And all he does is
Excess baggage. George Harrison fucking W right there. Common George W. I could not have put it better myself. Is it as bad as I thought or worse? It's slightly better. You know? It's slightly better. Ever so slightly. Watch Liam's response. Alright, hold on a sec. Liam Gallagher, George Harrison response. There you go. Liam Gallagher has 4 GCSEs and is annoyed at George Harrison.
You know what I mean? So it goes to show that all the time the Beatles and all that stuff that he's still stupid. He's a silly one because he reads the press. How do you know I'm silly? I've got 4 GCSEs, mate. I'm not silly.
He's got 4 GCSEs. Guys, he's got 4 GCSEs. I mean, let's be real here. Who really won the argument? I can see a liar. What the fuck is this? AC/DC, yeah. Did they not finish this one either? What? This ain't Saint Anger, this is Saint Fury, exactly. Yeah, I know, there are people who do genuinely say that. And look, I'm not going to sit here and say Oasis can't be your favourite band. They obviously can. You're entitled to have that opinion in the same way I'm entitled to hate them. Doesn't mean I'm ever going to understand it though. This isn't that bad. It's that fucking bad. At least it's short. There's a funny interview that Liam does for TRL where people think he predicted 9/11. Liam Gallagher predicting 9/11. Wow. It was fucking terrible, dude. That shit sounded like just as unfinished as whatever the other was. Was it Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is, I think was the other one. This sounds just as unfinished as that song does. There is no single defense I can think of for this song. There's some interesting instrumental ideas, I guess, but the mixing is so fucking atrocious that it all just gets lost under a sea of mud. I'm feeling a flat 2 on that song. That is probably the worst so far. Liam Gallagher predicts 9/11.
How are you, Liam?
Godlike.
Godlike. How you feeling?
Godlike.
Good. Thanks for coming by.
Pleasure.
What are you eating?
It's one of my missions. I have to drop in on you every now and again.
Yeah, we always like to see you here, too. The 4th Oasis album, Standing on the Shoulder of Giants, is in stores now. The cover of the album, New York Skyline.
Yeah, I thought I'd pay you respect and that before they blow you up and that, yeah.
New York Skyline.
Yeah, I thought I'd pay you respect and that before they blow you up and that, yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Mark Lanigan from Screaming Trees said to Noel, "I'm gonna kill your brother," and Noel said, "Don't let me stop you." Wow. Real brotherly love there. Guys, Liam Gallagher predicted 9/11. Confirmed. Confirmed. 6.5 minutes. Fuck me. Final song, roll it over. Guitar tones are reminding me of Foo Fighters for some reason. Tony Blair must have spilled the beans to Noel at Downing Street. Yeah.
The thoughts that I convey. Does it make it alright? It doesn't make it alright. To roll it over my soul, leave me here. Roll it over my soul.
Looking for the live version of this at Nebworth in 2022. It's actually pretty good. Yes, like the stream. Lets more people know we're live. Noel gave the go-ahead to Osama. Fucking hell, dude. We're not doing the rest of the Discog. I was paid for one album and one album only.
Sit with me around my table, but never bring a chair. Does it make it alright? It doesn't make it alright. To roll it over my soul, leave me here.
same as Sunday Morning Call. This song's just boring. No, yeah, I will soon though. We're actually making progress on that. Another snooze fest. Yeah, it's just such a nothing burger of a song. It's not bad. It's not good either. It's just nothing's fucking happening. When I do, I best be ready. Get on with it! Oh my god! Why is this song taking so damn long? It doesn't even feel like it's building. It's just... it feels like I've been stuck in an endless fucking loop. It's not boring according to the 2003 Enemy interview, nor was inspired by a music related to sleep. That doesn't mean it's not boring, it just means it's boring and it makes me want to go to sleep. TikTok attention span. One of my favorite bands puts out like 30-minute songs, and they are paced perfectly. This does not warrant its runtime in the slightest. What the fuck kind of comment is that? Am I about the band yet? No, I'm talking about Swans. There's a difference between me just not liking long songs and songs being poorly paced. I will sit there and happily listen to like The Beggar Lover, which is like 43 minutes, because it's well paced. Look, that song, it was cruising at a 5 out of 10 for the first 2/3. It was just kind of boring. And then it got aggravating. And then it started actively annoying me that the song just kept going and going and going and going and going. Holy shit. Yeah, that... This is proof of why pacing is so important. Pacing is imperative to how well a song works. And this is... This is fucking torture. I am feeling like a flat 4 on that song. A flat 4. Needed more choir vocals. There you go. Yeah, I don't know. The song was just uninteresting for the most part. It was just painfully boring. And then it just trailed on way too long. The band have no fucking sense of pacing on that song, dude. It's done. It's over. Hey, you know what? This album, it's better than I thought it was going to be. This album is actually not the worst thing on the planet. It's a mixed bag. There are some pretty fucking terrible songs on here, but there's actually some interesting ideas throughout this, and it feels like Oasis are actually trying to experiment and switch up their sounds here, which I respect the hell out of that. They are working in a lot of sampling, they're working in a lot of electronics here. It feels like they are trying to do more different, interesting stuff with the production, and while I don't think it pays off in the fucking slightest, I actually respect them for trying something new. This is kind of what I want Oasis to do. I don't want them to just try and recreate Definitely Maybe and Morning Glory over and over again. I like that they are spreading their wings and that they're trying to do something different here. I really, really appreciate it. Now, would I say I like the album? Absolutely not. I think that this album has some pretty disastrous flaws. In particular, the mixing that I feel like is such a step back from Be Here Now. Be Here Now, people really don't like the wall of sound that is Be Here Now's production, but I think that that wall of sound kind of allows the band to create these massive, actual stadium-sized songs like they attempt to on Morning Glory and Definitely Maybe, and they're not able to there. That album, Be Here Now, actually feels like they are able to capture that. And I really, really like the overall sound of that album, even though I don't love all of the songs. This feels like such a step back, and them kind of going back into, like, losing a lot of their dynamic range, losing a lot of their sense of tension and their ability to build up songs. Everything here just kind of feels like it's so just mismatched in terms of where it's placed mixing-wise. There are two songs on here that, like, one of them is unfinished and the other one sounds unfinished. Like, come on, man. Not finishing your songs for the sake of reaching a deadline for a concert. Such shitty practice. That's really shitty practice, and just shows that the band kind of don't really care about the artistic side all that much. Like, they care enough to try and branch out a little bit, but they just rush the album out for the fucking sake of a concert. That's just such bullshit strategizing. And it's stuff like that that make me not like this band, because it's pretty obvious that, you know, while they may care to some extent, it's not to that far an extent. And I don't know, that's kind of why I stopped talking about them, because I was like, the band don't care about the music, I don't care about the music, I don't care for the people who make the music, and people get upset when I talk about the music, so I had no reason to. But you know what? I'm glad I listened to this. I'm feeling a flat 5 on this album. Better than I was expecting. It's not the worst thing on the planet. It's really not. This album is easily better than Morning Glory and Definitely Maybe. 100%. I still think Be Here Now is their strongest work, but this album is second place for me in terms of the Oasis discography right now. I think that this album's strengths and its weaknesses balance out evenly. There are some good songs, there's a great song, there are some mid songs, and there's 2 dog shit songs. Right down the middle, 5 out of 10. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Alright, chat, don't go anywhere. We're going to do the outro, and then we're going to write an Album of the Year review. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think of this album down below. How does it compare to other Oasis albums for you? Let me know what other albums you'd like me to listen to in the future down below as well. Check out the links in the description to my Discord, my Album of the Year, my Twitter, and my other channels. Like and sub as well. We are on our way to 3K. And yeah, I will see you all whenever I next stream or upload. Bye-bye. An hour and 20 minutes? Not bad. Alright. Alright. Do I actually use Twitter? I don't post on there, but I have a Twitter. Alright, let me fill in the rest of these scores real quick. So we got 52, 20, and 40. Noel's Chasing Yesterday solo album is unreal. I don't really have much interest in like their solo stuff. When we hear them all, can I make a top 10 Oasis songs short? Maybe. Maybe. There you go. Wow. You would read a full-length novel of me ranting about why pacing is important? Because it is important. People don't realize how much pacing can fucking kill a song, dude. And this album is a perfect example of that. Do I have an Oasis ranking list on Album of the Year? Because if not, I should make one. I'm going to go to a new stream. Yeah, we're going to be going back to a normal music submission stream after this. I don't have an Oasis ranking list on Album of the Year. Now I'll make one later. Alright, hold on a sec. I am going to create a new stream, and I will put the link in the chat for that. I'm going to be going back to just standard music requests. Alright, new stream is set up. I'll get you guys the link. Alright, there you go. Head over there. I'm going to be continuing the queue over on that stream after I take a short break. And then, yeah, we will just be continuing after that. I will see you guys over there. Bye-bye.